Hello and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share with you today my top 10 tips post weight loss surgery. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy in July of 2017, and I wanted to share some things that are working really well for me in hopes that they help you. If you're anything like me, I researched YouTube for people who had had the same surgery and who were around the same weight that I was starting out to see where they were today and what they were doing, what they were eating. So hopefully some of my tips will help you along in your journey. Please forgive me. If I look down or look to the side, I am trying to watch a kiddo, and also I don't want to forget anything on my paper that I need to tell you guys. So here we go. My very first tip is to take your vitamins. It's so important to find a vitamin that works well for you. This is something that I still struggle with today. I've tried many different vitamins. If you'd like to know some of the vitamins that I've tried, comment down below, and I will be happy to share that with you. But try to find a vitamin that works well with you. I found that most of them make me very nauseated. I always say it's like the worst half hour of my life because I'm trying not to throw up. So find a vitamin that works good for you and take it. That's the most important thing. Take it. It does help with getting some of those nutrients back in your body that we do not get because we can't eat very much anymore. Tip number 2, find support. It's so important to find some supportive people, whether it's a Facebook group, an Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is that you're doing. Find somebody that can relate to the way that you're feeling. This is not an easy thing to go through. There's a lot of emotion that comes with it. Some is good, some is not so good. It does play tricks on you, on your mind, and reaching out to people who have been in the same situation or going through the same situation is so important. Find people that can relate to you. Even if you have the most supportive family, it's really hard for them to understand what you're going through and the mental game that this is. Tip number 4, be kind to yourself. Be forgiving. If you have a bad day, it's a bad day, and you need to wake up with a new attitude in the morning that you can do it. I will tell you guys, the first 6 months of my journey, I was so restrictive on everything. I did not cheat. I did not put anything in my mouth that didn't belong there. The sad thing is, once you get further out, you're a little bit more lax, and so you will have those bad days. So just be forgiving of yourself and understand if you do slip up and you have a cookie, it's not the end of the world. Just make your next meal a better choice. You're not going to gain 100 pounds back by slipping up and having one cookie. So be forgiving of yourself, because you know what? There's going to be days where you just do something stupid, and that's just how it is. Tip number 5, celebrate the small victories. Celebrate every step of the way. Every victory, even if it's a small one, is a victory. Just remember, you are not where you once were, or you will not be in a year where you once were. Every pound is a victory. Every pound is something that you are not going to gain back, and you don't want to gain back. So celebrate that. Celebrate yourself, whether you're buying yourself a new item of clothing once you've lost 10 pounds. Find ways to celebrate that don't revolve around food. If you are anything like me and a food addict, all the celebrations always revolved around food. So change that thinking and make them revolve around something that's going to better you. Whether it's a new hairstyle, a new piece of jewelry, a new piece of clothing, something like that. Just make sure and celebrate the small victories for yourself. And I apologize, I think that was tip number 4. Tip number 5, meal plan. Be prepared, weigh and measure. Now, I know that this is going to be a slippery slope, because some people are going to tell you, oh, you don't need to weigh, you don't need to measure. I weighed and measured for the first 6 months. I weighed out my meat and I measured everything. I still do measurements because it's really important to know how much of what you're putting in your body. I'm able to tell, what like 2 tablespoons are. Most dressings and peanut butter and stuff like that is 2 tablespoons for a serving, and I'm able to kind of eyeball that now. Just from weighing and measuring, it's going to help you when you're in a situation where you don't have your measuring cups or your little measuring spoons to kind of be able to eyeball it. For instance, when I had a company barbecue, I was able to know how much of what I was putting on my plate. Even though I didn't know what the serving is, I know, oh, I'm having 1 tablespoon of each thing so I don't overeat. So I really, really recommend doing that until you get used to about how much a quarter cup is, how much a half a cup is. Meal prep. I can't express how important meal prep is. When I am not prepared, I fail. That's the ugly truth of it. If you don't prepare, you're not going to succeed because you're going to be struggling to try to find something. I find when I am not prepared, I have to go to my work's cafeteria and they don't always have the best choices. That makes me have to go eat fast food, and that's not the best choice. So please just try to prepare your meals in advance because it will help save you time. It'll help save you, the struggle of having a bad day. Um, Meal prep. And you know what, you guys, it's no fun. It's not my favorite thing to do. If you research on YouTube, there's many people that do it in many different ways. Some people plan for the entire week. I commend them. I wish that I can be like that. My life doesn't work that way, so I usually meal prep the night before. I will either make like meat roll-ups, or I will make or like put leftover dinner in something, or I just have chicken strips, something that is easy and I can meal prep the night before. And I meal prep, I take to work both my breakfast and my lunch. I do keep like a jar of peanut butter and a jar of sugar-free jelly at work so I can have a quick snack, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without bread. I have lots of stuff that I have in my desk at work, so I'm prepared for a snack if I need one, so I'm not, struggling and reaching for things that are not good for me. So, meal prep. My next tip is ask questions. If it's easiest for you, put all your questions on your phone. So when you go see your surgeon in your, 3, 6, 9 month post-op visit, if that helps you, that's what helps me. When I think of something, I would put that in my phone, and then when I went to see my surgeon, I would ask those questions. Otherwise, you're going to forget. I learned this the hard way. That's why I'm telling you, just write it down and be prepared, because I had so many questions. There's so many things that happen along the way, and I think that's what brings some of us to YouTube, is just like, hey, what's this, or what am I doing gonna do about this? And so try to be prepared when you go see your surgeon and ask lots of questions. I would hope that your surgeon has an open door policy and you're able to call if you're struggling at all. Mine did, so that was very helpful to me. If I was having, some huge struggle that I needed help with, I could always reach out to them. We have a portal, and I could just send a quick message, and I had support that way. So I really do hope that you have a surgeon that you can, contact even outside of your visits. My next tip is to exercise. Um, this is something that I struggle with, and I'm just telling you, small. Start small. Baby steps. Even if you walk around your house 3 times, whatever you're doing is probably more than you were doing before. Being at a very heavy weight like I could hardly move. That was one of the major reasons why I decided to have surgery, because I wasn't the person that I was meant to be. I wasn't the mom that I was meant to be. It wasn't fair to my children what I was doing. So, exercise starts small. I don't go to a gym. I find small little things that I can do, whether it's walk away the pounds, which you can find on YouTube, and it's like 20 minutes, so it's not very long. Walk on the stair stepper for 10 minutes. Just start small. Every little thing counts. Do, 30 arm circles. Do 20 sit ups. Everything you do is more than you did before, and it's going to better you in the future. Start those habits early, because the longer that you wait, the harder it is to incorporate it in your life. My next tip, learn to take compliments. You guys, this is so hard for me. I was never really used to being complimented before. And so when people would say, oh, you look so good, oh, you're losing so much weight, you kind of just want to shut down and be like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Because you see yourself every day. You probably don't see what other people are seeing. I have times where people are just like, in awe of what I look like. And the people that I work with every day don't notice the small changes. But when I see family that I haven't seen in a long time, they're absolutely just floored and always tell me how different I look. So learn to take a compliment. What I've had to do, you guys, is just smile and say thank you. That has been a huge, hard struggle, lesson, whatever you want to call it, over the past year. Just smile and say thank you. You know, I would argue back and say, oh, I haven't really lost that much weight. But just smile and say thank you and enjoy the compliment that you're getting. Ah, drink water. I can't even explain how hard this is for me because I was not a water drinker before. But I can tell you, it does make you feel so much better. And if you're drinking water in between your meals, you're gonna stay satisfied. I find that when I'm drinking my water, I'm not as hungry, and when I start to get hungry, I drink more water so I can just kind of curb those hunger pangs. Um, it's so important to drink that water to stay hydrated. I wouldn't be telling you this either if it wasn't a struggle for me. I do struggle to drink water. I would love to just have coffee all day and all night, but that's not realistic and it's not healthy. So drinking water is so important. Try to drink your 68 ounces a day, and don't be like me. And I don't make it. I haven't made it in probably months. And that is something that I'm actually working on. I've seen a lot of videos where people drink a bottle of water on their way to work, and that is my new goal, is to try to do better with that. My final tip, you guys, is find what works for you. Do your own thing. Just because it's working well for me or working well for somebody else on a video, that doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. Make this fit your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be like a death sentence. You guys, there's so much emotion and so much prep and everything that goes into this, and none of us want to fail. I worry every single day of my life that I'm going to gain all my weight back. And you know what? Do what works for you. Do your own thing. And I can't even stress how important this is. You know, I compared myself to so many people on YouTube who were about the same weight as me, and it's like, oh, they're 18 months out and they've lost 20 more pounds or whatever it is. You know what, you guys, it all depends on your weight, your starting weight, how old you are, if you've had children, your success. Do not compare your success to anybody else's. You do you. That is just a plea from somebody who's been there. Do you. Make this journey your own, and you will do very well. Just try. That's my biggest tip. Try. Every day wake up and tell yourself that you can do this and that you are worth this. This is a journey. It's not a sprint. You're not going to be skinny overnight, but you got to try. You guys, I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If I can answer any questions for you, I will certainly do so. I have some exciting videos that I'm working on. I'm going to be doing one here shortly. That's a what I eat in the day fast food edition. Moms, if you get stuck out and you don't know what to do, I have some suggestions for you coming up in some videos in the future. Thank you again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great night.